Founded along a wagon trail over 160 years ago, the small town of Susanville, California is seemingly home to countless spirits. From haunted homes and cemeteries to mysterious tunnels and an abandoned hospital. I'm Kenny, your captain, and welcome to Spooky Legends of Susanville.
Oh, hello everyone. I'm Kenny, your captain, and welcome back to Spooky Legends of Susanville. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Roosevelt Pool and Recreational Center. It once existed on this spot where the new Honey Lake Valley Community Pool now stands. The Roosevelt Pool was a very special place for the people of Susanville. Some 4 and 5 generations learned how to swim at that pool. In the 1930s, there still wasn't a safe place to go and swim and cool off in the hot summer months of Susanville. Most people would go down to the Susan River, but this was and still is a dangerous place to swim. There's lots of sharp, steep rocks, and it can be slippery. Places that can be hard to judge how deep the water is. Well, not to mention the sewage and pollution. Especially in its early days, a lot of Susanville sewage would go right into the Susan River. So people swimming there would end up with nasty health problems like typhoid, dysentery. And so the community really wanted and needed a public swimming pool. Fortunately, in 1936, the city was approved a budget grant for some $22,000. Was to be used for the construction of a new pool. And so construction began, and in 1938, Roosevelt Pool was opened. It started out as an outdoor pool, like the one we have today, but it was eventually enclosed with walls and a ceiling inside of a 2-story building. So I really like these pictures. You can see the walls being constructed while people are still swimming. Yeah, it's one of those things you definitely wouldn't be able to do this today. There's no way you could have an open pool in the middle of a construction site, OSHA and all that. Throughout its time that it was opened, school field trips to Roosevelt Pool were quite common, and of course students were always looking forward to them. Well, on a cold November morning, 1945, a group of students from a school in Standish, they were traveling on a school bus headed to Roosevelt Pool for a pool party. And they were traveling a little late, so the bus driver was going a little bit faster than he should have been. He came up on a slower moving pickup truck. They were on a road. The article I read said north of Leavitt Lake, so I don't know if that's A27, the one that goes past with the prisons. But yeah, they were somewhere north of Leavitt Lake, traveling fast. Came across a slow moving pickup truck. The bus driver went to pass the slower moving pickup truck. He overcorrected and ended up rolling the school bus. It rolled twice, landing upside down. Well, fortunately, there were absolutely no fatalities. Most of the kids just got a couple, cuts and bruises. Somebody had a sprained ankle. The worst of it was a 15-year-old girl. She had some very deep cuts to her face. She was taken to the hospital and stitched up. It just so happened to be a coincidence that her uncle was the driver of the slow-moving pickup truck. And I believe it was in 2003 at Roosevelt Pool, a man and a girl were injured by a chlorine gas bubble that had formed in the water. The pool was closed, it was drained, maintenance was done. They never did find or determine the source of the chlorine bubble or how it formed. But yeah, September of that year, the pool reopened again. Well, the following year in 2004, During more routine maintenance, it was discovered that there was a crack in the side of the pool walls. The pool was drained, the pool was closed, and unfortunately it never reopened. The building was left abandoned. Well, it was around this time we started to get some ghost stories that started to pop up. People would break inside the building, goof off, have fun, maybe break stuff. But people started noticing, the sounds of splashing water, the sounds of children laughing and playing. The pool was drained, and of course there was no children swimming. Another hot spot was the pump room down in the basement. I've heard stories about people going down there and having objects suddenly thrown at them by unseen forces. There's also supposedly was the smell, strong smell of tobacco, not cigarettes, but tobacco. One story I heard goes that the area was actually once used for a Native American sweat lodge, hence the smell of the tobacco. Well, the pool remained closed for many, many years. The building was just left to the elements. If you don't maintain a building or maintain something, it'll eventually just fall apart and break down. The vandalism didn't help. At one point there, the pool was completely full of garbage. There was a lot of hope in the community to reopen the Roosevelt Pool facility, but unfortunately it had just been, abandoned for far too long. One of the walls and the ceiling had begun to separate, and rainwater and snow had just been pouring down the thing, just causing all kinds of damage. It was determined that the pool itself was unsavable. Such a shame. If they would have fixed the crack in the side of the pool wall back in 2004, they wouldn't have had to tear down this building. There's a lot of people upset about it too. Like I said at the beginning of this video, it had a special place in the hearts of the citizens of Susanville and Lassen County. A lot of good memories. But yeah, in 2015, Roosevelt Pool was demolished. Oh, of course, today we have the Hunter Lake Valley Community Pool, built pretty much on the same spot. If you look at the trees in the back here in this picture, you can see that, those are the same trees. It's an outdoor pool now, of course. Would be nice if they enclosed it too. I think it'd be great if we could have a year-round community pool here in Susanville. Pool is closed for the 2022 season. See you next year. Well, thanks for watching, folks, and joining me on this little journey. Be sure to give us a like, share, subscribe, and of course, ring the bell for notifications. YouTube loves all that stuff. Be sure to check out our Spreadshirt store. I'll have a link in the description below. There you can find t-shirts, backpacks, pajamas, Spooky Legends of Susanville teddy bears. Yes, we have tons of stuff. We're going to get into more ghost hunting soon, I promise. The weather's finally getting better for it. All right, well, I'm Kenny, your captain. Thanks again. Hopefully I'll see you next time. And there's a kitty cat just chilling there. Kitty, kitty, kitty.